The final clearance rate for Melbourne over the week ending 19th of July was 43%. This was down from 51% in the previous week and low 60s over the 3 weeks prior to that. Now, this may look pretty disastrous compared to Sydney, which maintained clearance rates in the 60s, but in fact the opposite is true. Because the Melbourne property market is so strong and the government is doing such a great job bearing the economic brunt for us, the Melbourne's clearance rates have dropped. And I will explain why. Let's look at the portion of properties withdrawn from auction and compare that with the previous lockdown. Prior to COVID-19, the 5-year historical average withdrawn rate for Melbourne auctions was around 3%. Over the week ending 12th of April, our first lockdown, withdrawn properties peaked at 64%. The week ending July 19th showed a withdrawal rate of 40%, definitely up from the historical, but quite a bit lower than our first lockdown. An increased withdrawn rate makes sense, given the need to respond to lockdown conditions. Now, why am I going on and on about these auction withdrawal rates? Because a high rate of withdrawn properties reduces the clearance rate and lowers volumes. I repeat, a high rate of withdrawn properties reduces the clearance rate and lowers volumes because withdrawn properties are counted as non-sale at auction. You see, the clearance rate methodology was developed to understand the true representation of the success rate of auction methods, not as an indicator of demand. So the current low clearance rates, combined with the large amount of auction withdrawals, tells us nobody is in an urgent need to sell right now and that the online auctions have not been fully accepted by the market or a different marketing strategy is required. One other factor that shows me that we're not doing that bad here in Melbourne is the current withdrawal rate is quite a bit lower than during our first lockdown. Combine this with the fact that our auction market has rebounded rather quickly at the end of the first lockdown, and I trust you now also see. Current low clearance rates are not representative of the current good state of the Melbourne property market, as the high withdrawal rate has a negative impact on the auction clearance rate. The reason why there is a high withdrawal rate is that nobody is in a hurry to sell, thanks to the mountains that are being moved by our federal and state governments. The fact that the withdrawal rate plus the rate of actual properties sold at auction is quite a bit better than the first lockdown gives me a lot of confidence on what is going to happen as soon as we come out of this lockdown, which may not be far off, provided we all do our bit.